Longmont native. There's not many of us. I'm also an artist. I'm a singer-songwriter. Yeah, they would just go to Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, and type in Nick O'Connor. It's an OR at the end, and you'll have all my albums there. There was a time where I was gigging a lot. Yeah, playing a lot of shows. I released my right after I released my third album is when things kind of like opened up for me in Longmont and beyond. I think what kind of got in the way of that is, addictions. I was drinking a lot. I'm also bipolar. I wasn't really taking my meds. And
were you substituting alcohol for your meds, or
oh
just,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I didn't have health insurance. So I went to this doctor. He got me off of all of my meds and put me on what they call nutraceuticals. And I was taking the nutraceuticals, but then I couldn't afford him anymore. So I just stopped taking the nutraceuticals, stopped going to him. And I was kind of like in a manic state, I think, because I was playing a lot of gigs. And so, yeah, I drank to kind of self-medicate, I guess. I'm actually a little over a year sober now, working the 12-step program.
Let's clank it.
Seltzer waters. This is not vodka. This is seltzer water.
Along with my lemon water, carbonated water. Yeah. A year sober.
Yeah.
How have things been different?
I call it the miracle of sobriety, the miracle of community. I started going to meetings, got a sponsor, worked through the 12 steps, and also really made community a big part of my life. So I, did the internship with y'all. As I kept myself busy with that. As I went to therapy's been huge for me. I have a very good therapist that I see once a week. I started seeing, miracles in the way that I was thinking. I have a double whammy. I have a dual diagnosis, which is, mental illness, bipolar with alcoholism. And so what I'm realizing is my thoughts were not clear. They were not rational. It was all based on emotion and wanting to be wanted. Now that I'm sober, now that I'm, taking my medications, going to therapy, I'm starting to realize that like there are a lot of people who love me. And more importantly, I am passionately loved by Jesus. And that's my identity. My identity isn't being a good poet, being a good musician, being a good singer, being a person of service. My identity is being loved, the one that Jesus loves, right?
I know a lot of artists who rely heavily on foreign substances to feel creative.
Right.
I was just listening to a great Gordon Lightfoot song while I was door dashing last night.
Yeah.
And I think it was "If I Could Read Your Mind." And I know that he struggled with alcoholism, and I think he's just now embracing sobriety. But I was enjoying that song, and then I thought he can't even write this song unless he's buzzed. And I was sort of feeling that because of knowing artists who, when they go sober, they struggle with creativity. And has that been hard for you, or have you still had creativity this last year?
The funny part about that is I cannot write a song when I'm messed up on something. I have to be completely sober. I cannot write a song when I'm right in the middle of what I'm going through or what I'm processing. I have to be more or less on the other side of the struggle. I don't get, revelations when I'm messed up. The reason why I would get messed up is because life was so intense that I needed a break from it. I'm all about the intensity, the passion, the deep feeling,
What do you say to people who can't create unless they're on something?
I actually lead a small group. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit. Called Following His Muse. We call ourselves the Musers, and the basic concept of the group is God has put something inside of an artist. Like there's something inside of us that there's a reason why we want to create, whether we think it's good or no good. There's a reason why God has put something on our heart, and it is of the utmost importance that we pursue that. Right. I don't think you need to be messed up to write good stuff, or paint or whatever. And the proof is within this group.
Okay.
There are people who are being encouraged to create because of community. I think that's where it's at. Because of community, and that's church. I mean, that group is church. Yeah. It's not Sunday morning raising your hand worshiping, but we're in community. We're talking about our struggles. Mm-hmm. It's completely different than what I thought it would be. We just kind of like, I have a basic theme that I like to discuss, but like it goes everywhere. Mm-hmm. And it's basically an AA group. That's the cool thing about it. Like a lot of recovering addicts are in this group, and they're being inspired in new ways now that they're sober. And some of them aren't sober, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. The main rule or guideline that I really push into people's heads is like, we're not there to critique people's art. We're not there to tell them what they can do differently. We're there to encourage. Mm-hmm. We're there to say what we like about it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to enjoy people. It's if we can just enjoy each other with our quirks, then that's, to me, that's community.
We're really about relationships with people and accepting them where they're at, and that's the way to growth. It's just acceptance and loving them for who they are, loving them like Jesus loves them. They love them where they're at. He loves them where they're at. And I want my story to be told by the poor who have written of sin.